Well, I've hit another milestone, episode 30. I generally now think this is the longest Football Manager series that I have uploaded on this channel. I know I say it all the time, like, oh yeah, it might be the longest series at like episode 5, but generally, I think episode 30 is now the longest. But if you're still enjoying the series like I'm enjoying making the videos, make sure you drop a like and drop a subscription if you're new. Also, thank you for 6,500 subscribers. I know that's not a massive milestone to a lot of people, but considering that we are rising very quickly towards 7,000, I might as well celebrate every single one. Now, the last time we met, we took on Bournemouth at home on the first game of the season, and after being 2-1 down at half-time, we came back and won by 4 goals to 2. It was a great comeback, although Callum Wilson did ruin us in the first half, but Steve Mounier came back and ruined them in the second half, so who's the real winner? Well, I mean, I've already just said I won 4-2, so clearly I'm the real winner. So following the 4-2 win over Bournemouth, we did take on quite a few sides in the Premier League and in the Carabao Cup. In the game against Watford, which followed the Bournemouth game, Steve Mounier scored twice once again, and this goal made it 2-1. But 5 minutes left on the clock, and Tommy Smith, who I sold to Watford, fired in this long-range strike to give him a point. I mean, that signing's already backfired. When we then took on Blackburn at home, Blackburn went down to 10 men, and after an own goal in the first half, Max Phillip then made it 2-0 with this fantastic free kick to secure us all the 3 points. Following that, we did get knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Wolves on penalties, and then lost to Man City 1-0. But Steve Mounier once again scored twice as we came back from a goal down to smash Tottenham by 4 goals to 2. You really do love to see it, guys. But that has left us in 5th place in the league, and we're only a point off the top 4. But we do take on Leicester City in this episode, and Leicester is somewhere near the bottom of the league already, so this could be a chance for us to break into that top 4. Amazingly, Newcastle are top of the league as well. Yeah, I don't really know what's happening in this save. Like, generally, I don't know what's happening. Surprisingly, the 2 goals that Steve Mounier scored against Bournemouth were his first goals for the club in over 10 hours of football. And now he's the top goal scorer of the league. What's going on?
I beat the fuck out of my dick so goddamn hard.
Connor Cody also praised me because of my half-time team talk when we were 2-1 down to Bournemouth, and it allowed us to come back and win 4-2. I mean, basically my team talk was, Connor Cody, would you stop being shit and mark Callum Wilson better? And it actually worked. Paul Clement went to spoil it all by saying something stupid like Callum Wilson was the best player on the pitch against us. I mean, the fact that Steve Mounier also scored twice and we were on the winning side. Paul, are you turning into the next Winkler? Trezeguet is still causing problems at the club because apparently now he's unhappy because Wilfried Zaha joined. So first of all, he doesn't want to play for Huddersfield because he's unsettled, and now he thinks that Wilfried Zaha has come to take his place, which he has. I mean, anything like legitimate that you want to be worried about, Trezeguet? Like climate change or the fact that I can't find a girl to text me back? In the Desmond 2-2 that we had against Watford, Steve Mounier's 2 goals also meant that he has now scored more goals in the first 2 matches of this season compared to the 19 games that he had last year. Sensational scenes. So I've sent Trezeguet back to Egypt for 30 days to hopefully overcome his personal problems. And if he doesn't come back, then, well, I would probably call this one of my least successful signings. Although saying that, he was a free transfer, so what's to lose? Other than the 40 grand a week that I'm paying him. In one of our most recent under-18s games, Walsall beat us 6-0, and Reece Griggs, one of our right-backs, got a rating of 4.2. So I said to him, you have to play better. No, I didn't actually say that, I just gave him a free transfer. So good luck finding a new career, Reece. So I was playing Matt Clark at left-back because Reguilon got injured, and then Matt Clark got himself injured in the Tottenham game, which meant I ended up with Fabian Schär at left-back, who can't even play left-back, and now he's out for 7 weeks with a fractured wrist. It's really backfired that I've only had 2 left-backs this season. Really backfired. Do you think Paul Dummett will come back? And Steve Mounier's great form this month also saw him get second in Player of the Month, which is a bit of a disgrace really, because he's got 6 goals in 5 games. That's 1 more than Ademola Lookman, although he's played 1 less game, so I mean, Steve Mounier should have still won it. 6 goals! So I've got to take the screenshot for this, but I was asked to fund a new coaching course for Ashley Young, because he is one of our under-18s coaches, and I said, yeah, I'll go to the board. And I went to the board and asked them if they could fund the coaching course for me, and they said, due to our present financial situation, we won't be able to do that. And I thought to myself, but we're not in any trouble whatsoever. I looked at the finances and realised, actually, we are fucked, and I've really fucked this club. And what makes it worse, I'm actually about to fail the FFP or wage rise regulations. I've never done that before in my life. So if Huddersfield collapses as a club next season, then don't blame me. And also, we made £22 last month from players sold. I didn't sell anyone for 22 quid. Imagine being worth £22 in today's market. And also I found out despite a good run of form, I wasn't even named in top 3 for manager of the month. I mean, they gave 3rd place to Everton's manager, who's 2 places below me. This game is screwed, I swear. We also offered a job to a Crystal Palace scout. Houston, we have a problem. That was forced as fuck. Mr. Ozil has also done the right thing and seen that we're playing Leicester in a few days' time and has put himself out of action. But I'm not falling for that trick. But now we move into our game against Leicester City. Now, they're not doing too well in the league at the moment, but this is a potential banana skin. And with that in mind, I stick with the same system we've played in the last few episodes. Aaron Wan-Bissaka makes his debut at right back on this series. Fabian Schär moves into centre-back as I've pushed Christopher Ayer into centre midfield to play alongside Mesut Ozil. We also move Wilf Zaha into the left wing role to replace the outgoing Trezeguet. And Neil Maupay also returns and makes his place on the bench because Steve Mounier and Max Philip are playing very well at the moment. Looking at that Leicester team, it doesn't really scare me. There's not too many players in there that I recognise from the Leicester team in real life, like Maguire and Schmeichel, and that's pretty much it. But it's a big game for us. It is a big game. Like, we have beaten some of the bigger teams this season. And, well, we need to start beating the teams that are around our level. After about 2 minutes, Aaron Giza's corner found Suarez at the front post, but he headed it over. And then Mesut Ozil had a free kick from about 30 yards out on the 20th minute, and he put that wide. And we were ramping up the pressure, and Ollie Berg found Max Philip, and his cross found Steve Mounier, who hit the bar. And then Wilfried Zaha managed to shoot the rebound into Schmeichel's arms. But then some link-up play between Dodo and Suarez found Fabian Fry, and he fired the ball past Pirine. Is that how you pronounce it? Like, people keep telling me how to pronounce the names, and I'm trying to pronounce them as best as I can. But we were refusing to back down, and Ollie Berg's cross found Steve Mounier in the box, and his shot was well saved by Schmeichel. I mean, Steve Mounier should have 2 goals by now, because he loves scoring a brace. But we were 1-0 down at half-time. We're not out of it just yet. We were losing in the last episode. We could still come back. I'm not panicking at all. And 30 seconds into the second half, Ollie Berg once again found Steve Mounier, but he fired it wide this time. So we've had a shot saved, a shot hit the bar, and a shot going wide. That's pretty much the hat-trick. And the combination worked again as Ollie Berg once again put the ball in the box for Steve Mounier to fire it into the back of the net. Unfortunately, VAR decided to rule it out, and looking at it, it was very tight. I mean, I don't know how they've managed to get that. It was time for a double substitution. Neil Maupay came on for Steve Mounier, who was misfiring. And Eros Grezda came on for Ollie Berg. Basically, Ollie Berg should have about 5 assists now, and Steve Mounier should have 5 goals. So I might as well just replace them too. That was my thinking behind the substitution. Reguilon's cross then found Ozil, and his flick on found Grezda at the back post, but he headed it over. I mean, we nearly had an instant impact there. We made one more change as John McGinn came on for Mesut Ozil in midfield. And then Neil Maupay ran through after stealing the ball after the defender, but then fired it wide. I mean, how are we not level? It wasn't all lost though, as Leicester started forming some attacks towards the end of the game, and Laxalt's cross found Suarez in the middle, but his header was well saved by Pirine. And then on the counter-attack, Neil Maupay found Max Philip in the box, but Max Philip just decided not to shoot. Literally the thing I pay him for. And as the game was ticking down, Sergio Reguilon's cross found Laxalt at the back post. He headed it out for John McGinn to fire it into the back of the net in the 92nd minute to rescue us a point. What a substitution by me again. And that was it. We had drawn 1-1. Not an awful result, like we had come back from a goal down. But we really should be winning these games. How are we going to get in the top 4 if we're drawing Leicester? A team that have won the Premier League as well, by the way. I don't think anyone's ever forgotten about that, have they?